Young people, the future belongs to them. But how do they feel they contribute to society?
I don't feel I make a contribution to society now, but I will.
I make some contributions here, yeah. Everybody will pay a tax, so I think it's a fair play for everybody.
But for people who own the future, young people often struggle with the present. Research from the European Foundation for the Improvement of Living and Working Conditions shows that more and more young people are struggling to get a proper job, remaining unemployed or putting up with unsatisfactory jobs. 40% of all unemployed people in Europe are aged between 15 and 29. This means that there are 7.4 million young people without a job. Young people are also having great difficulty becoming independent and getting their own place to live. Postponing the first child is a trend amongst young couples, affecting the fertility rates of all countries. And yet, over the coming years, increasingly smaller numbers of young people will have to support a greater number of older people. It is the youth of today that will become the employees of tomorrow. They are the people we expect to drive our economies.
Thanks so much.
What can Europe do for young people? How can they be helped? This is one area in which the Foundation's expertise and research can contribute to the development of programs and policies which can effectively tackle the issue of youth employment.
After I leave school, it's very difficult for me to get a job, for application. Everything's very difficult for me.
You always hear in the newspapers that there are loads of engineering jobs and loads of science jobs. You go looking for them, there's none. You know, I was in a class of 35 people. There's 2 people that have engineering jobs.
When discussing youth unemployment, some issues clearly need to be addressed. How to find a job after completing schooling, making sure it pays enough, and that young women and men's chances are equal. The first challenge, to create a smooth path between education, training and the world of work.
Sometimes a person have good knowledge in chemistry, in biology, but they don't have the job in this section. They need to choose another job. Like I'm doing biology, chemistry, but now I'm a chef.
The skills and work experience of the labour force are not in sync with the needs of the labour market. For people out of a job, the problem is greater as their skills and experience become outdated over time.
So it'll be great if school actually advises you more, also treats you more a bit like an adult, but I doubt that you can know with 14 or 12 or 16 exactly where you want to go, because if you've never seen the industry, if you don't know which kind of jobs there are out there, you have no idea,
The Foundation's research on youth and work in the countries of the European Union continues to identify gaps between what skills the labour market needs and what is actually available to it.
When I finished the school after 8 years, then after 3 years learned my profession. I worked like 9 months like a butcher in the big factory in Poland, it was the slaughterhouse and the boning hall.
My name is Agatha. I just want to ask you about the invoice that we have that's overdue.
I was studying and at the same time I was working to get experience and to get sure do I want to do it. So that's the best way. You have to try yourself in different places and in different jobs.
Programs and policies tend to focus on 2 areas, increasing skills and creating employment. But there needs to be a greater connection between the 2. Many companies already show a clear awareness of the difficulties young people face. The Foundation's work shows how companies play a part in getting young people the training and skills necessary to get a good job in the future. The second challenge, to prevent poverty and help young people contribute and feel part of society.
You get lots of jobs, but the money is not good. You get less money. It's very difficult.
No, I don't think I do have enough money to support myself. Especially living in Dublin, everything costs far much more than it would in pretty much every European city, and I don't think that wages properly reflect the cost of living.
The average incomes of 18 to 24-year-olds is lower than for any other age group. Almost 20% of 16 to 24-year-olds are at a real risk of poverty, compared to 12% of 25 to 64-year-olds. Young people lacking experience and education are at particular risk of long-term unemployment. This, more than anything, can prevent them from ever having a meaningful job. Add to this a poor environment or a socially deprived area, and their situation becomes a sort of trap. And when some employers screen applicants for their being or having been unemployed, the problem is compounded.
I leave school at 17 years old, and I went looking for a job nearly for 1 year, but nothing. But after 1 year, I got a job in a hotel.
I've been unemployed for 3 months since leaving college, and I've been working part-time as a movie extra, just trying to get into the business.
Youth unemployment is part of a broader issue. No job often means poor health, poor access to healthcare, difficulties accessing housing or welfare assistance, and poverty. The Foundation has found that social participation, and family support in particular, help protect young people from social exclusion. The same research shows companies playing a part in preventing social exclusion, hiring young long-term unemployed, for example. The third challenge, to offer equal opportunities in the labour market. Employment continues to be a different experience for women as compared to men. The divide is still there. Research shows that girls continue to be trained for and steered into a narrower range of jobs than men. The Foundation's research produces examples of national, regional, and company initiatives aimed at fighting discrimination. Everyone needs to work together. The future must hold more than simply hope for the people who are going to have to build it, work in it, and pay all the dues on it. Partnership is a key element in developing an integrated approach to youth policy. All kinds of groups have a role to play. Governments, trade unions, employers' organisations, youth representatives, unemployed groups, and companies. And what could the future be?
Hopefully I see myself in 5 years' time probably working in a big production company in London or America.
I want to be a graphic designer. That was the part of my job in a publishing house that I liked most.
Well, in 5 years' time, I hope to be progressing up the ladder career-wise, to be increasing in my experience and hopefully becoming management.
I would like to see myself working in the industry of film.
I have some plans to open the business like this in Poland, very near my home with my girlfriend, maybe after a few years wife, who knows.
In 5 years, I want to open my own restaurant and get money, and I want to be a boss.
The European Foundation's research and expertise can help in the development of programs and policies to deal with the issue of youth and work.